myself Professor Khemchand Surana. In previous session we have started with the antimalarial agents. In that we have seen the introduction of antimalarial agents. Further we have started with the life cycle of antimalaria or the life cycle of Plasmodium species. Then further we have seen the different stages of malarial life cycle where the different drugs were act. Then we have seen the chemical classification of these antimalarial agents, and we have started with the 4 aminoquinolines and 8 aminoquinoline derivatives with their SAR, mode of action and adverse effects. So now in today's session we will discuss the further classes of these antimalarial agents. Okay, so the third major category, that is what cinchona alkaloids. The first one is 4 aminoquinolone the first one is what, the 4 aminoquinolone derivatives. Next one is the 8 aminoquinolone derivatives, and third one is what, cinchona alkaloids. Okay, so now in cinchona alkaloids basic structure you can see again the quinolone is basic ring. Okay, and the substitution will be there over here. Okay, so one bridge ring system will be there, piperidine ring, then R substitution is there. Okay, so the basic structure is given over here, just draw and practice it. So now the examples of this cinchona alkaloid is quinine, quinidine, cinchonine and cinchonidine. Okay, so these are what the 4 examples of cinchona alkaloids. Okay, so at R position, so in basic structure R substitution will be there. So the only the difference between this quinine and quinidine is the orientation of the molecule basically. So at in basic structure there is methoxy group substitution, means OCH3. If orientation is minus isomer, then it is what, quinine. If orientation is having plus isomer, it is what, quinidine. And quinidine will use as an anti-arrhythmic agent also. Okay, so also the next one is cinchonine and cinchonidine. So the difference between these is only again isomer difference. Okay, so at R position there is what, hydrogen. If plus isomer will be there, it is cinchonine, and if minus isomer of this cinchonine, which is what, cinchonidine. So these are what the 4 different cinchona alkaloids. So just need to draw the basic structure and this substitution methoxy in quinine, quinidine. Difference between both is what, only orientation of molecule, and cinchonine and cinchonidine hydrogen will be there. Difference is what, orientation of the molecule. So these are what, cinchona alkaloids. So now we'll move to the SAR of these cinchona alkaloids, or quinine we can call. So the basic structure is given over here into the center. You can see the numbering. So basically whatever the piperidine bridge ring system, which is called what, quinaclidine ring. Okay, quinaclidine ring. Okay, so the numbering starting from this quinaclidine ring, which is what, piperidine with bridge. So one position at nitrogen, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6 substitution at the bridge carbons. Okay, then 7, 8 and 9 at OH. Okay, so you can see the carbon where substitution of OH at 9 position. And further to this quinoline ring, 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash, 6 dash. At 6 dash there is what, R1 substitution, then 7 dash and 8 dash. So this is what the basic structure of this quinine or cinchona alkaloids. Okay, quinaclidine, this is what the basic portion with this quinoline ring, R1 substitution. Okay, so we'll see initially at 9 position. Okay, or at 9 position you can see there is what, OH substitution. So first point given into this particular carbon, that is what, 9 position. The modification of secondary alcohol. Okay, at this 9 position the OH will be there, that is what, secondary alcohol is there. At 9 C9 position, through oxidation esterification diminishes the activity. Okay, So what is mean by this? So if we modify this secondary alcohol means OH at C9 position by oxidation reaction or esterification reaction, it will diminishes means decreases the activity. Okay. So second point is the configuration at the position 8 and 9 affect the juxtaposition of the hydroxyl group and the non-aromatic nitrogen atom. A relationship between that is associated with the antimalarial activity. Means what? What are the configuration between these 8 position and 9 position? Okay, means orientation of molecule at 8 position and 9 position, okay, of this hydroxyl group and aromatic region, okay, means this quinoline region, okay. The relationship between these is what associated with, means it explain what the antimalarial activity relationship, okay, the whatever the position between 8 and 9 position, okay. So this is about this position 8 and 9. Now at position 3 and 4 you can see in quinacridine ring. So asymmetry at this position is not essential for antimalarial activity, okay. So whatever the asymmetry at these 3 and 4 position of quinacridine portion or quinacridine ring, which is not essential for activity. Then next quinacridine portion, okay, this quinacridine portion means 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, okay, this is what quinacridine portion, so is not necessary for activity, okay. So this structure is basically not necessary for activity. However, an alkyl tertiary amine attached at C9 is important, okay. So this quinacridine ring is what not necessary for activity, but whatever the alkyl substitution at the C9, okay, which is important for activity, okay. Now at 8 position activity usually enhanced by introduction of halogen at this position. If we introduce any kind of halogen at 8 position, the activity of this quinine or cinchona alkaloid has been increases, okay. So now the next person is what? Quinoline ring, means from 1 dash to 8 dash at 6 dash there is what? R1 substitution, okay. So first point is the presence of methoxy group in quinine is not essential, okay. So we can see into the examples quinine and quinidine there is what? Methoxy group is substitution. So this methoxy group is not essential for activity actually. The replacement of methoxy group by halogen, essentially chlorine, enhance the activity, okay. If we replace this methoxy at this 6 dash position, okay, so it will enhances the activity. Now next point is further increase in activity resulted from the introduction of phenyl group at position 2 dash, okay. So what is this? So if we want to increase further activity, so we will introduce the phenyl ring at position 2 dash. You can see after nitrogen there is what? 2 dash. At this position if we substitute the phenyl ring, it leads to what? Increase in activity. Now next point is it was discovered that high activity without phototoxicity could be attained by blocking position with a trifluoromethyl group, a finding that eventually lead to development of mefloquine, okay. So what is that? Discovery of the further derivatives without phototoxicity, okay, means these kinds of drugs were showing what? Phototoxicity, okay. It could be attained. So how these kinds of drug has been developed, or it could be attained by blocking what? The position 2 dash, whatever the position 2 dash, okay, with trifluoromethyl, okay, CF3 we can substitute at 2 dash position CF3. So eventually it develops what? Less phototoxic drug, for example mefloquine, okay. So mefloquine is what? Similar kind of drug which will what? Less phototoxic, okay. So this is what the SAR of quinine or cinchona alkaloid, okay. So now next point is metabolism of quinine or these cinchona alkaloids. So these cinchona alkaloids basically metabolites in the liver, okay. So where the position or the location where the liver they were metabolites, and the metabolite is 2 hydroxy derivative, okay. So at second position there is hydroxylation will occur, which will followed by additional hydroxylation on the quinoline ring with 2-3 dihydroxy derivative as the major metabolite. Okay, so initially what happened into liver, so hydroxylation will be occur and 2-hydroxy derivative has been formed. Further additional hydroxylation occur on this quinoline ring and 2,3 dihydroxy derivative has been formed, and this is what the major metabolite. This metabolite has low activity. Okay, whatever this 2,3 dihydroxy derivative which is having a low activity and is rapidly excited in the urine. Okay, so they were excited through what? Urine. So this is metabolism of quinine. So now the fourth major class of this antimalarial agent is acridine derivatives. Okay, so these acridine derivatives also called as 9-amino acridine derivatives. Okay, so quinoline will be there. Quinoline again fused with one benzene ring. Okay, in center there is what? Pyridine, here benzene, and at opposite position again benzene. Okay, so this is what? Acridine structure. So 9 amino acridine derivatives. Okay, so starting from nitrogen to the ninth position there is what? Amino group substitution. 1, 2, 3, 4. At fourth position there is methoxy group, then 5 position again free. Okay, so this kind of structure which is what? Acridine derivative. Okay, then 5, 6, 7, 8. At 8 position there is what? Again chloro group will be substituted. Okay, so this is what the basic structure of acridine. So we can call it is 9-amino acridine derivative or acridine derivatives. Okay, so examples from this class is quinacrine and acriquine. Okay, quinacrine and acriquine. So at R position there is substitution. So in case of quinacrine, CH3 CH3 CH2 3 times NC2H5 will substitute it is what? Quinacrine. Next structure is acriquine. Okay, so acriquine C2 CH2 4 times N C2H5 twice. Okay, this is what? Quinacrine. Just draw the both structures and practice them. Okay, so the mode of action of these acridine derivatives is quinacrine act as many sites within the cell, including intercalation of DNA strand, succinic dehydrogenase, mitochondrial electron transport, and choline esterase. So basically these quinacrine or acridine derivatives, they were act on the different sites of this particular parasitic cell. So they were act as an intercalating agent, means intercalation of DNA strand. Also they were inhibit the succinase dehydrogenase enzyme. Then also they were inhibit the mitochondrial electron transport process, and also the cholinesterase enzyme. Okay, it may be a tumorogenic. Okay, so these kinds of drug also what? Tumorogenic, means they were causes the cancer, and also they were mutagenic. Okay, and has been used for the sclerosing agents. Okay, so it is what? These kinds of agent were used as a sclerosing agents. Because it is an acridine dye, quinacrine can cause yellow discoloration of the skin and urine. Okay, so basically what happens? So these acridines are what? Dye basically, and they were causes what? The discoloration of skin and urine. So these kinds of adverse effect seems during the treatment through these acridine derivatives. Okay, so this is what? Mode of action of these acridine derivatives. Now further next major class of these anti-malarial agent is antifolate bigonides. Okay, or we can call simply bigonides derivatives also. Okay, so again this class is important as per your examination. So basic structure is given over here. At benzene ring there is what? R and R dash substitution, NH C double bond NH. Okay, so this is what kind of bigonides. Okay, so NH C double bond NH, NH C double bond NH, NCH CH2 CH3 2 times. Okay, so this is what the basic structure. Again draw and practice it. Okay, So if the basic structure is known, you don't need to worry about the different structures of this biogonal derivative. Just practice the basic structure and remember these substitutions according to particular agent. Okay, so the first example in this antifolate biogonate is progonil. Okay, so at R and R dash substitution will be there. So in case of progonil, there is Cl at R position and hydrogen at R dash position. Second is chloroplogonil. Okay, so in case of this chloroplogonil, at both position R and R dash, there is what? Chlorine. Okay, next bromoguanil. Okay, so in case of bromoguanil, there is what? Bromine instead of chlorine, and hydrogen is at R dash position. Okay, next is nitroguanil. There is what? Nitro group substitution at R and hydrogen is there. So quite a simple structure is there, so need to remember and practice them. Okay, so next is mechanism of action of these antifolate biogonates. Okay, so the metabolism and this mode of action of these biogonates is quite similar to sulfonamides. Okay, so the mode of action of these antifolate biogonate is they will inhibit the dihydrofolate reductase enzyme. Okay, like your sulfonamides. Okay, these sulfonamides also inhibited the dihydrofolate reductase enzyme and interfere with their folic acid metabolism. Okay, also they were what? Interfere with folic acid metabolism and leads to what? Inhibition of nuclear division of malarial parasite. Okay, whatever the division means, formation of new malarial parasite has been inhibited by these biogonate derivative. So basically what will happen? Para-amino benzoic acid plus pteridine will converted into dihydropteroic acid by using dihydropteroid synthetase enzyme. Further, this dihydropteroic acid is converted into dihydrofolic acid by using dihydrofolate synthetase. Further, this dihydrofolic acid is converted into tetrahydrofolic acid by using dihydrofolate reductase. Okay, so dihydro to dihydrofolic acid by dihydrofolate synthetase and dihydro to tetrahydrofolic acid by dihydrofolate reductase. Further, this tetrahydrofolic acid is converted into thymidine or purine bases. Okay, and these thymidine and purine bases will require for the synthesis of DNA of the malarial parasites. If whatever this our biogonates derivative like progonil, okay, they will inhibit what? Dihydrofolate reductase. You can see into this orange color there is what? Pyrimethamine, progonil and trimethoprim. Okay, so in that what? Progonil is biogonate derivative which inhibits what? This dihydrofolate reductase enzyme, and also this dihydropteroid synthetase will inhibited by these different sulfonamides. Okay, so this is what the mode of action, that is what? Inhibition of dihydrofolate reductase enzyme and interfering with folic acid metabolism. Okay, so this is what the mode of action of biogonate derivative. Now the metabolism of these biogonate derivative given over here. Okay, so this progonil is initially what? It is prodrug basically, progonil, which is metabolized into the liver and converted into diaminotriazine. Okay, diaminotriazine. Another name of this diaminotriazine is cycloguanil. Okay, means cyclic ring has been formed between whatever the guanidine substitution that act as a dihydrofolate reductase inhibitor of the plasmodium species and inhibit the DNA synthesis. Okay, so initially what happened? This progonil is prodrug. It will metabolize into what? Liver, into what? Diaminotriazine. Another name is what? Cycloguanil. Okay, and this cycloguanil or diaminotriazine, it is what? Inhibitor of dihydrofolate reductase. If this dihydrofolate reductase is inhibited in case of plasmodium species, okay, ultimately it will inhibit the DNA synthesis and growth of the another plasmodium parasites. Okay, so in structural you can see the progonil product given arrow, there is what metabolism and cycloguanyl has been formed. Okay, means there is what activation of proguanyl leading to cycloguanyl, which is what active form of this proguanyl. Okay, so this is what metabolism of guanidine. So now the next major class of these anti-malarial drug is diaminopyridine derivative, diaminopyrimidine derivative. Okay, not pyridine, diaminopyrimidine derivatives. So in in this basic class, there is what pyrimidine is basic structure. You can see 1,3 nitrogen is there in both structures, that is what pyrimethamine and trimethoprim. Okay, so the structure is given over here, the whatever the diaminopyridines. Okay, in case of pyrimethamine, you can see at second and fourth position there is what amino group, 2 amino group, means what diaminopyridine, pyrimethamine. Okay, so pyridine basic structure, C2H5 and chlorobenzene is attached. Okay, at fifth position. Then next drug is trimethoprim. Okay, so again pyridine basic ring at 2-4 position there is what amino group, means diaminopyridine derivatives. Then CH2 and trimethoxybenzene is substituted with this CH2. So these are what both diaminopyridine derivatives, pyrimethamine and trimethoprim. So again the mode of action of these drugs is quite similar to bigonide derivative. Already we have seen here, you can see here pyrimethamine and trimethoprim. Okay, with proguanyl shown over here. So these pyrimethamine and trimethoprim with proguanyl also inhibited this dihydrofolate reductase inhibitor. So same mode of action of these diaminopyridine is there. So they will inhibit what folic acid synthesis. Okay, by inhibition of dihydrofolate reductase enzyme and dihydrofolic acid to the active tetrahydrofolate coenzyme form. So similar mode of action as like your bigonides. Okay, so this is about what your diaminopyridine derivatives. Now the second next major class is what sulfonamides and sulfones. Okay, so this chapter already we have seen, only the small class in your antimalarial agents. Okay, is given over here. So same basic structure is there, NH2 benzene ring, SO2 NH, R will be there basic structure. Okay, so sulfadoxine, sulfadiazine, sulmethoxazole and sulfaline. Okay, so these are what the examples. So substitution given over here. So pyridine rings, okay, with methoxy in case of sulfadoxine, then simple pyridine ring, then methoxazole in case of sulfamethoxazole, sulfaline. Okay, 1,4 nitrogen. Okay, so these are what different sulfonamides and sulfone. Okay, they were act as antimalarial agents. Okay, just again need to remember these structures, draw and practice them. Further, the mode of action of these sulfone and sulfonamide again similar as like your bigonides and sulfonamide class. Okay, so they were inhibit what whatever the folic acid synthetase as well as reductase enzyme inhibitors. Okay, so they only act against the erythrocytic stage. Okay, already we have seen whatever the erythrocytic stage in case of malarial life cycle we have seen. So they were act against what erythrocytic stage of the malarial parasites. So sulfadoxine interfere with the parasites ability to synthesize folic acid. Okay, so sulfonamide where they were block what the para amino benzoic acid to form the dihydroteroic acid. And further the PABA is what central part of folate structure. Okay, means what it is precursor of these kinds of structure. Sulfonamide exhibits significant toxicity because human do not synthesize the vitamin folic acid, and there are severe to fatal occurrence of the erythema, multiform, then Stevens-Johnson syndromes, toxic epidermal necrolysis, serum sickness syndrome attributed to the sulfadoxine. So as per the mode of action of these sulfonamides, already we have seen they were inhibitor of these what particular folic acid synthetase and folic acid reductase enzymes. Okay, these enzymes were required for the synthesis of the DNA in case of your parasites, malarial parasites. So these were inhibit these folic acid synthesis by inhibiting these kinds of synthetase as well as reductase enzymes. Okay, and they will show some kind of toxicity like erythema, Steven Johnson syndrome, toxic epidermal necrolysis, serum sickness syndrome. Okay, so these kinds of side effect in case of this sulfonamide has been seen. Okay, so mode of action is quite similar to similar to what biogonide and sulfonamide. Okay, so now the further classes will discuss in next session. Till that, thank you and happy learning.